Morning, class. Morning, sir. Before we begin our discussion, please stand for the opening prayer and Miss Kyla and Dorio, please lead the prayer. Let us pray. Now sit down. Thank you, sir. So as we know, we have discussed about the history of a computer last meeting, right? So before we will officially begin our discussion, let's have a short recapitulation first, okay? So the first picture is who is the father of the computer? Okay, Miss Kyla Hidorio. Charles Babbage. Thank you, class of now. Next is what year was computer first invented? Okay, Miss Camille. 1820. Okay, thank you so much. And in continuation of our discussion last meeting, we will have to proceed the basic parts of computer and the basic rules in computer laboratory. So, at the end of this discussion, you are expected to be able to please read the objectives. Identify the basic parts of a computer. Recognize basic rules to follow in a computer laboratory. Explain the important behavior in the computer laboratory and create basic parts of a computer. Okay, thank you. And before we'll dig into our topic, we will start to have a motivation first. And this motivation is called guess week. Okay? So from the picture, you need to guess. I will have to slide some pictures and you will guess if it is part of a computer. Now, do you understand? Yes, sir. So the first picture is a cell phone. Do you think a cell phone is a part of a computer? Yes. No. A basic part of a computer? No. Okay. So, but do you believe that a cell phone is a computer? Yes. Why so, Miss Kyla? It is because it is a technology device that uses internet rather. Okay, thank you, Miss Kyla. So, a cell phone is a computer device that uses internet, like what Miss Kyla said. So, it is basically a computer, but the difference is the cell phone is a handheld. You can carry it anytime, anywhere. Okay. So the next is what picture is this? Okay, this picture is a monitor. So a monitor part of a computer? Yes. Okay, very good. So do you think this picture is a part of a computer? No. Yes, of course, because it is a mouse and animal or an insect. So they will because the computer is composed of advanced technology, right? So a mouse is basically not a computer. Okay. So the next picture is this is the perfect mouse or the exact mouse that we are talking about. So is this picture a part of a computer? Yes. Okay. So the next picture is, what is this? Keyboard. Do you believe that a keyboard is a part of a computer? Yes. Okay. So the next thing here is, what do you think is this picture? Okay. But you were not able to determine what picture is this, right? So I may have to ask, is this a part of a computer? Do you think it is a part of a computer? No? How about you, Miss Camille? Yes. So this picture is a radio. Okay? So a radio is not a part of a computer, but a radio is a computer itself, and we use this technology as a communication device. Okay? So that is our motivation. So at this juncture, we will going to proceed to the
Basic parts of a computer.
Okay. So the first one we have is the monitor. Okay? A monitor is a part of a computer, or is specifically a basic part of a computer. So here, the words that have been bullets is the short definitions of a monitor. So the first is the visual output, because
because a monitor it displays information that we can see through a monitor. Okay, like for example, if you have some informations or you need to attach or input information through a monitor, you can visually see it through the monitor. So not just information can be visually shown by a monitor. It can also show a picture or videos. So nowadays we have known a lot of content creators, right? So the content creators use this monitor for editing. So they do not use cell phones for editing, but they use this thing which is the monitor so that they can easily show or present their content or videos through the monitor. Okay? The next is user interface, because this monitor enables interaction between the user and the computer itself. So, like for example, if you want to search something, then you input some words to the computer and the computer will give the information to you. So the next is the content consumption. So the content consumption is if you will going to explore some contents or applications, like for example TikTok, YouTube, Facebook. So the monitor will visually present the application itself. So you can easily explore, like if you want to go to TikTok, like I said. So the monitor will show you the application and show you some videos. And next is productivity enhancement, because the monitor is where we can visually see the documents that we are going to edit. Like for example, Excel or PowerPoint. You will going to create a PowerPoint or Excel. You can see or inputs the lessons that you are going to discuss to your class. Like for example, I am using monitor to create this PowerPoint. And the next is communication, because as we know, we use monitor for, like for example, face to face. You have a family that is living far away, so you use monitor for computer interaction, like for example, what you call that, video call, like for example, like that video call with your families within other countries. Okay, so the next is the CPU. So there are such common mistakes about the CPU and the system unit. So we have talked about the system unit, right? The one that has a big box. So some of your classmates believes that a CPU is that system unit, but a CPU is not that, not the system unit, because a CPU is a small chip that consists of many we call this transistors. So this is a CPU. It's a small chip, not the power supply, the system unit. Okay. So the definitions of the CPU is the brain and the heart of the computer. So basically, so we'll go deeper. Like for example, if a human has no brain and no heart, so the human will not live, right? So it is the same as the computer. So if you take the CPU, the whole computer system is nothing. Okay? So CPU stands for the Central Processing Unit, and otherwise it is a microprocessor. So the CPU will process all the information throughout the computer, but it is a micro because, like I said, it is a small chip. Okay, the CPU is a small chip only. Okay, so do you have any questions regarding to the CPU?
And so far.
So the next is the keyboard. Okay, so we will get the root words of this thing, which is keyboard, from the word K and board. So as you can see, these buttons right here are called the keys, and the surface is a board. That's why it is called keyboard. Okay, so a keyboard is an input device. So do you know what is an input and output device? Yes? Why so, Camille?
Input device is things that you can see at the monitor.
Okay, how about the output?
Example of that is some.
Okay, so we have to input some informations. So the input device is the one who is responsible for inputting information through the monitor. Like for example, the keyboard. You use keyboard to type text, right? So you are inputting information through the monitor. So like what Miss Camille said, that an output device is a speaker. So a speaker produce sounds to the user. So the output device is the one who is responsible for releasing information or sounds like the speaker throughout the monitor. So that is the difference between input and output device. So the next definition is array of keys. So the keyboard consists of many keys like these buttons. Okay. So the next is essential tool. So why is keyboard essential tool? So the keyboard is essential because, as we know, do you know what is an ENIAC? ENIAC. The ENIAC is the first computer that is invented that consists of a very big computer, right? So the keyboard is essential because, like the ENIAC, you need to type so much things before you can create a single letter. But through the use of keyboard, you will just type all the letters in the alphabet because the letters is already inserted to the keyboard. That's why the keyboard is an essential tool. Okay? So the next definition is interface between user because the keyboard is the one that we use to connect with the computer. Because do you experience searching assignments in the computer? Okay, so we use keyboard, right? So that we can put information to the computer. That's why it is an interface between computer and the user. Okay, so the last one is the mouse. Okay, mouse is an input device. Okay, why do you think that the mouse is an input device? Okay, so the mouse is an input device because it is the mouse, although you can hold the mouse, right? But the controls is within the monitor. The one that the arrows in the monitor, that is the cursor of the mouse. Okay, so a mouse is a pointing device. Okay, we use mouse to point some application. If like for example, you go or you explore Google, then you use the mouse to locate the Google. Okay, a mouse is a handheld device. Obviously, a mouse is a handheld device because we use our hands to move this thing. Okay, the last one is the cursor control. Okay, like what I said earlier, that this is a cursor control because it is the one who is responsible for locating any applications or any documents that is inside of the monitor. That's why a mouse is a cursor control. Okay, we are done with the basic parts of the computer. Now we will going to proceed the basic rules inside the computer laboratory. But before we dig into our topic, let's have a short activity first. So I have here flashcards that has a word which is yes or no. So what you're gonna do is I have to slide some pictures and you will guess if this picture is a proper rule inside the computer laboratory and not proper inside the computer laboratory. So I will give this to you. Okay. So the first picture is this. What do you think is this picture proper or improper inside the computer laboratory? Okay. So you both answered no. So your answers are correct. Although this picture shows that the person is cleaning the monitor or cleaning some parts of the computer, but the way that he cleaned or she clean the computer is improper. Why? Because she used cloth in cleaning the monitor. So what tool or thing that we use to clean the monitor? Soft cloth and brush. Okay. So here in the next picture, person is cleaning a keyboard, which is he is using spray. So what will happen here? If a person sprays on the keyboard, the inside of the board will become wet and it will break the keyboard. Okay? So your answers are correct in the first picture. Okay? The next picture is this. What do you think? It is proper or improper in inside the computer laboratory? So, what can you see of the picture? Miss Kyla, what can you see of the picture?
So I see a person and I think they have a meeting.
Okay. How about you, Miss Camille?
I think it is a teacher and some students.
Okay, very good, Miss Camille. So, the picture shows that a teacher is instructing something to the students that and how they will use the computer. So your answer is correct because the picture shows that you need to follow instructions from your teacher. That's why your answers, which is yes, is correct. Okay? The next thing here is this picture. Okay? What do you think? Is this picture proper or improper? Miss Kyla answered no and Miss Camille answered yes. So, Miss Kyla, why did you answer no?
It's because when you unplug it,
Okay. You will unplug
then you do not directly.
Okay. So, how about you, Miss Camille? What do you think? Your answer, you have come up with the answer yes in this picture.
Because after using the computer, you need to unplug.
Okay. So, Miss Camille have a point, but this picture shows improper inside a computer laboratory because you are not allowed to touch something that is beyond your limits because this person might be shocked by electric because he is not using proper PPE in plugging and unplugging the wire. So, Miss Kyla have the correct answer, which is no. Okay? So, the next picture is this. Eating. Okay. You both answered no. Why do you think you answered no, Miss Camille?
Because it maybe destroy your computer or your keyboard.
Okay. So, in this picture, it is not proper to eat inside a computer laboratory because those crumbs that will left inside a keyboard will make the keyboard malfunction and you will not able to use it if you are eating inside a computer laboratory. And also drinks is not allowed inside the computer laboratory. So your answers are both correct. Okay. This is the last picture that I will going to slide. What do you think is this picture? It is a proper or improper? No. Okay? So, the correct answer here is no because the person inside the computer laboratory, you can see that he is playing inside the computer laboratory. So, it is not proper to play inside the computer laboratory because you might mess something important in the computer laboratory or you can damage the monitor or some parts of the computer if you are playing inside the computer laboratory. Okay? So we are done with our activity. Now we will going to proceed the basic rules in the computer laboratory. Okay? So I have here two separate columns, which is the do and don'ts inside the computer laboratory. So the first do's is you need to sit properly and handle devices carefully. Okay? Because if you are so careless in your movements, you might damage some basic parts of a computer. So you need to behave when you are dealing or you are dealing with the computer. So and the next rule is keep the workstation clean. Okay, so it is nature to us that after we use the computer laboratory, we need to leave it clean. Okay, so the last rules is follow instructions from teacher, like the last slides from our activity, that you need to follow instruction from teachers, because you might be able handle which is not proper in using computer. So that's why we need to always follow instructions from our teachers. So the column here shows don'ts inside the computer laboratory. Of course, strictly don't bring foods or drinks inside the computer laboratory, because you might damage some parts of the computer. And the next is don't run or play around, and don't touch cables and parts unnecessarily, because if you are touching unconsciously or consciously the wires, you might be shocked by an electric current. That's why you need to follow instructions to your teachers and don't touch the wires carelessly. Okay, so this is the do's and don'ts of the computer laboratory. Okay, now let's summarize all the discussion. Okay, what are the topics we have discussed today, Miss Kayla?
Basic parts of the computer.
Okay, then how about you, Miss Camille?
The rules and don'ts.
Okay, inside the computer. Okay, so what are the basic parts that we have discussed today? Enumerate.
Monitor, mouse, keyboard, CPU.
Okay, and give me one example of the rules, or those inside the computer laboratory, Miss Camille. Rules. Miss Kayla, you go first.
You need to sit properly.
Okay. Miss Camille, I want you to give one don'ts inside the laboratory.
Not play around inside.
Okay, thank you. So it's time to evaluate your learnings about our discussion. So, you are group N2. Okay? So, my instruction is within the group, analyze and answer the given questions within 5 minutes. And one representative will be discussed in front of the class. Okay? So, the first question is, what rules from do's and don'ts you believe is the most important and why? And the second question is, why do we need to maintain good attitude inside of a computer laboratory? Okay? So, since you are only 2 in my class, Miss Kayla, I want you to answer the question 1, and Miss Camille, I want you to answer question 2. Okay? I will give you 5 minutes to think. Ready? So, I want you, Miss Kayla, to stand here in front and read your answer, please.
So, question number 1. What rules from do's and don'ts you believe is the most important and why? So, the rules from do's and don'ts that I believe the most is in do's. Do's is follow the instruction of your teachers, and for don'ts is do not bring some foods and drinks inside the laboratory. So, why? It is because in order for you to be guided on how to use the proper way using some type of basic parts of computer. And for DOS is if you bring foods, there's a possibility you might spill the computer or device inside the laboratory.
Okay, thank you, Miss Kayla. And now, please, Miss Camille, state the answer in front of the class.
So the question is, why do we need to maintain a good attitude inside of a computer laboratory? So we need to maintain good attitude inside of a computer laboratory so that we can avoid ruining the parts of the computer or the computer. And by doing this, we can be able to use the computer in a long run.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, now, for your assignment, please read.
With the same group, create a model showing the basic parts of a computer.
Okay, so for your assignment, I want you to create a model of parts of a computer that includes the
Monitor,
monitor,
mouse,
mouse.
keyboard, CPU.
Okay, so I want you to pass it on next meeting. Do you have any question regarding with the basic parts and the rules of inside a computer laboratory?
And so far.
So not so much ado, I want you to have this quote, which is from John F. Kennedy. Please
Man
read.
is still the most extraordinary computer of all.
So that's all for today, and class dismissed.
Goodbye and thank you, sir.
Goodbye, class.